Hello everybody and welcome to the next part of scaling Spectreman. If you haven't already, make sure to go watch the last few parts, and don't worry, you don't have to go digging through my channel. I'll have a playlist at this point. In today's video, we'll be scaling Bacula, Alien Zuno, and Gilligand. Without further ado, let's scale some kaiju. First up, we have the giant ugly ant, Bacula. Let's start with his feats. He was able to completely possess humans, and may I add, this is one of the most disturbing episodes of any series I've ever seen. With a combination of its low quality and the janky editing, it makes it very off-putting. And then adding in all the creepy acrobatics and the weird lighting, it's legitimately disturbing to watch. Watch it at your own risk. Bacula seems to be some sort of giant flying ant, though he's not too large. He was able to bust out of a building, which should, of course, get him to building level. But when him and Spectreman got into a fight, he didn't hold up well at all. And let me add another thing, which is that it's reasonable to assume Spectreman's attacks are faster than Spectreman himself. And we see Bacula react and reverse Spectreman's attacks. Meaning if Spectreman can go Mach 8, and his attacks are faster than him, and as we said, Bacula is able to react and reverse them, this would get him much faster than Spectreman's actual attacks. Meaning in his movement and reaction speed, he should be somewhere around Mach 10. Then we get the Queen Bacula, who emerged out of the same building. We could of course assume that she upscales the normal Bacula, meaning she should also be around house. We see the Queen grow to the size of the house later, and then destroy a town, which should of course put her in town level. She also takes very heavy fire from the JSDF. And I mean, really, this might just be one of the weakest kaiju Holy shit. Finally, one of the big categories has been checked off. Light speed reaction. Spectreman shoots one of his many light-based attacks at Bacula. Bacula not only reacts, but shoots her own beam to counter it, making her our first faster-than-light kaiju. Next, of course, are her in-show statements. Spectreman says, "She's eaten enough of this city to grow to the size of a mountain." And, yeah, that's it. So overall, Bacula will scale somewhere from city to maybe mountain, though she is our first faster-than-light kaiju, which is a great feat. Next is Alien Zuno. Though Zuno isn't a kaiju, he was a major role, and may he rest in peace. Let's scale him. Feats. He was able to possess and take over people's bodies. Not only that, but he grants the body insane durability, being able to take hits from Karas. And most impressively is when he was able to blitz Spectreman, meaning he should be thousands of times faster than the speed of light, which we'll, of course, explain when we eventually scale Spectreman himself. Now onto statements. He has an interesting ability in the scans, which states, "The sound of his sound will cause the opponent to stop moving if he or she glares at you." I think it's just trying to say if you look at him or hear him, you stop moving. Now, where does he scale? Well, the only thing he really has going for him is his speed. Other than that, he's merely just there. He doesn't really scale to anything. Finally, we have Gilligand. Let's jump right in, starting with his feats. Firstly, he withstood hand-to-hand combat from Spectreman. And as we said, Spectreman is already faster than light speeds, which would also make Gilligand faster than light. He took Spectreman's Spectre Cutters, which in the past were able to slice right through Nezubirdon's heads, scaling him above Nezubirdon, who we scaled at Large Planetary, meaning Gilligand should be many layers deep into Large Planetary, or just barely into Dwarf Star. Also, just by drilling into the ground, he can make volcanoes erupt. And his biggest feat is that he was the first kaiju to ever make Spectreman bleed profusely, meaning he should automatically outscale any of the previous highest kaiju, which will be further backed up on in a moment. Next are his on-screen statements. Dr. Gory says, "Gilligand is the strongest monster I've made," having a direct confirmation from the creator himself. So he should, of course, outscale everybody so far. He's as tall as a redwood tree. Now, according to Spectreman Wiki, he's 50 meters tall, but according to LifeScience.com, the average redwood tree is 107 meters tall. So it's a little iffy where his height comes into play, but we'll just say somewhere in between. Karas says, he weighs 30,000 tons. Karas also says, he has a strength of 10 monsters. Now, as of episode 21, there are 10 kaiju so far. So he could be implying that Gilligand is as strong as all the previous monsters combined. Which, I'm just saying, Gokinosaurus alone is able to carry 18 million tons. So Gilligand should be extremely strong. With one blow, he can destroy the Empire State Building. With another, the highest peaks of Mount Everest will fall. And finally, his hands can crush Spectreman, to his actual statements. Firstly, he can cause earthquake-like motion. He can see 180 degrees around him, and he's an expert kickboxer. So where does he scale? Well, with all this info, he's either very, very much into Large Star, or maybe our first solar. But that's kind of up for debate. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Sorry for the shorter length, but two of them really didn't have much. As always, keep collecting, everybody. Guzzle the guy out. See ya.